people who are less familiar with that body of
Yeah.
your work, would you tell us a little bit about the four tendencies and how knowing these tendencies can help make teams more productive and more happy?
This is a really useful framework. If you're in conflict with somebody, you don't understand what the problem is, you're not communicating effectively, like there's frustration, or you feel like people don't get you, you say, like there's just this clash of perspectives. Yeah, so this is the four tendencies. And also, I'm going to describe it, and from a brief description, almost everybody knows exactly what they are. You will know what your coworkers are, your family members. We could do Game of Thrones characters. These are very easy to pick out once you know what you're looking for. But if you want to take a quiz, again, go to gretchenrubin.com/quiz. It will tell you your tendency and give you sort of like a little report. But you don't even need to do that. I'll explain it right now.
Please.
It sounds a little dry, but stay with me. I promise you it's juicy. So
Great.
As you said, it divides people into four tendencies based on how they respond to expectations. So we all face two kinds of expectations: outer expectations, like a work deadline, and inner expectations, like my own desire to get back into meditation. Mm-hmm. So depending on whether you meet or resist outer and inner expectations, that makes you an upholder, a questioner, an obliger, or a rebel. So upholders readily meet both outer and inner expectations. They meet the work deadline. They keep the New Year's resolution without much fuss. They want to know what other people expect from them, but their expectations for themselves are just as important. They tend to do very well with to-do lists, calendars. They're very focused on execution. They don't need a lot of supervision. They just do it. And their motto is discipline is my freedom. Then there are questioners. Questioners question all expectations. They'll do it if they think it makes sense. They resist anything arbitrary, inefficient, unjustified. They always need to know why. They're often told they ask too many questions. And the issue with questioners, they're making everything an inner expectation. If it meets their inner standard, they'll do it, no problem. If it fails their inner standard, they'll push back. So their motto is, I'll comply if you convince me why. Then there are obligers. Obligers readily meet outer expectations, but they struggle to meet inner expectations. And so, like a friend of mine said, I know I'm happier when I exercise. And when I was in high school, I was on the track team and I never missed track practice. Why can't I go running now? Well, when she had a team and a coach expecting her to show up, she did it no problem. But when she was trying to go on her own, she struggled. And so for obligers, really, these are the people who say, why can't I make time for myself? Why do I keep my promises to other people, but I can't keep my promises to myself? Why can't I make time for self-care? The answer is outer accountability. You want to read more, join a book group. You want to exercise more, pay for a class, work out with a friend who's going to be annoyed if you don't show up, take your dog for a run, and your dog is going to be so disappointed if it doesn't get to go for a run. Think of your duty to your future self, as we were talking about before. There's a lot of ways to create outer accountability once you realize that that's what you need. And obligers are like the rock of the world. They are the people that go the extra mile for neighbors and coworkers and colleagues and friends and family. They really need to just figure out how to get that outer accountability for themselves. So their motto is, you can count on me, and I'm counting on you to count on me. And by the way, obliger is the biggest tendency for both men and women. So you either are an obliger or you have many obligers in your life. But then we're going to talk about the smallest tendency. This is the rebel tendency. So rebels resist all expectations, outer and inner alike. They want to do what they want to do in their own way, in their own time. They can do anything they want to do, anything they choose to do. But if you ask or tell them to do something, they are very likely to resist. And typically they don't tell themselves what to do. Like they don't decide that they are going to go to a 10 a.m. spin class every Saturday because they think, I don't know what I want to do on Saturday. And just the idea that somebody's expecting me to show up is going to annoy me. So their motto is, you can't make me, and neither can I. So these are the four tendencies. And once you know what someone is and what yourself, who you are, you can really set situations up and communications up so that you will very, very much more effectively work together or work with yourself.